everybody, so new review today. We're talking about the upcoming Candyman from Nia DaCosta. As a huge fan of horror, I absolutely love the original Candyman from 1992. It's just so brilliantly creepy, but also has a compelling storyline on top of it, which unfortunately the two sequels that followed, Day of the Dead and Farewell to the Flesh, just didn't have. Now, after over 20 years since the last Candyman film, we have this spiritual sequel that seemed to have the makings of something really special, almost comparable to the original film. In this film, a decade has passed as the last Cabrini Towers were torn down, and Anthony and his partner move into a new loft in the area, but as Anthony is exposed to the true story behind Candyman, he becomes eager to use these details in his paintings, unknowingly unraveling past details that'll test his own sanity and unleash a wave of violence. When it comes to breathing new life into Candyman, this film definitely has the correct approach, as it skillfully builds upon what worked in that original film from 1992, but also adds a whole lot of nuance as well as we expand upon the lore of the character and what he truly represents in this world's mythology, but recontextualizing it with the same strong themes for a modern audience. It's no easy task, but there's so much to chew on here in such a tight runtime because the film is only 90 minutes long, but we pack in so much interesting stuff in that runtime between all of the horrifying, scary moments. The scares alone are worth the price of admission, in my opinion, for this new Candyman. The film is equal parts thrilling, but also terrifyingly brutal when it comes to the gruesome kills that we see throughout the film. They truly went there when it comes to the grotesque body horror in this film. Like, they pulled no punches, and it's pretty disgusting, and it gets worse as the film goes on. It's very grotesque. I was very impressed with the writing as a whole for the film. You can definitely feel that Jordan Peele influence when it comes to the screenplay. I was really impressed with the direction from Nia DaCosta because she's only done 2 films to this point, and she feels like a veteran director. She is absolutely a star in the making, and I can see now why Marvel picked her to do the Marvels film, which ironically also stars Tiana Parrish. DaCosta really brings a fantastic indie flair to this that's visually striking, but it's also bold in its execution that's not seen all that often when it comes to mainstream horror films. I also love the various different techniques she uses when it comes to her storytelling, as we see many different animations telling the story and lore of Candyman throughout the film. It was very unique, and it definitely stands out among a lot of other storytellers. As far as performances go, I think that pretty much everyone in this film was excellent, but in particular, especially Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, as he carries a lot of the film's emotional burdens, but Tiana Parrish also turns in a great leading actress role. I also have to make note that Colin Domingo was fantastic as well. He's definitely the best supporting character of the whole film, and he's a lot more integral to the plot than I was expecting going into this. I thought it was going to be a lot more focused on Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Tiana Parrish's character, but he gets a lot of screen time and focus as well. Vanessa Williams also is in this, and she looks basically the exact same as she did in the first film, and I think that she was great in the limited role that she did have to kind of connect the films together between the original and this one, and I think that's what's really great about this because it, of course, does tie into that original Candyman, but it also expands upon itself and kind of is almost a reboot in a sense because it is a spiritual sequel. There are returning characters from the original film, but I also think that it could stand on its own as its own thing if it really had to without seeing the first film. If there's one thing I had a little bit of a gripe about, I would say that it does feel a little bit too short because it is clocking in at about 90 minutes long, and that very first act that we have kind of stretches out a little bit too long, and because of that the third act does suffer and it does feel a little bit rushed. That isn't to say the third act is bad or anything. I do still think it leaves a lasting, powerful impression leaving the theater. I just wanted a little bit more of it because it just went by so quickly. Anyways, obviously I absolutely adored this new version of Candyman, Nia DaCosta's Candyman. I think it's a great way to kick off the horror season because we are getting closer to Halloween time. It's just such a great film all around, even besides the horror elements. It's just really great storytelling. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of Candyman when you get a chance to check it out this weekend. It hits theaters this weekend, and it's only in theaters at the moment. I know Universal has that 17-day window, but if you are able to and you feel safe enough to go to the theater, this is definitely something I would recommend venturing out to actually see it theatrically compared to at home on VOD. Either way, make sure you share your thoughts down below what you think of the film when you do see it. If you liked it, do you not like it? Do you like it more than the original Candyman? Because it's kind of tough because I think it's really neck and neck with the original film, but I think I still might slightly have the original film higher, but I mean, they're both fantastic films in their own right. As always, thank you so much for checking out my reviews, but I really appreciate it. Make sure to like it, subscribe button. We'll keep doing reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more on the channel. But next time, I'll see you guys later.